What is up, traders? Stan Gluzman here with 7 Points Capital, bringing to you today's trader takeaways. First of all, I wanted to apologize in advance. I stepped on my microphone, so it seems like it's working, but if it doesn't, if you can't hear me well, I apologize in advance. I'm gonna get a new one, but I gotta use this one today. So let's take a look at SPY. We have a really choppy day. Super choppy. We're looking at the volume. Didn't trade too much volume, like 50 million shares. So not much action on the SPY, but we did have lots of action in very specific stocks. I started the day a little bit down. I was trading Mara. I was trying to fade this one, this gap up. So I was shorting in here, covered some, reshorted, and then I was hoping for the big drop. Stopped me out for a pretty decent loss because I had some size, and reshorted it in here, right here, and then added and then covered into the wash and left it alone. So pretty much made back the loss, and that's it. I mean, obviously it faded back much lower, but this was like such low volume that I did not want to stick around. It could have easily ripped up more. Then we started trading. I started trading. I was looking at these SSR names, some of them from yesterday, some of them from today. We had American Airlines. This one was actually my loser, but it was scalpable. A couple of guys made good money in this one. Just reading the tape and figuring out which way it's going to go from a consolidation, like in this consolidation up, this consolidation down, this consolidation up. I didn't read it very well. It was a little bit choppy for me. Like, for example, I was short here, and then I was adding in here pretty big, and then the stock just reverses. If you can see right here, it looks like it was printing the bid, so it didn't print the offer. It was printing bid, wanted to flip down, and then lots of volume comes in, so that's a reversal. So these are some of the things we have to watch out for when we trade these high volume SSR names. Big reversals on big volume bars. My best stock today was Flex. This one was crazy. I mean, there was a big seller all day today, and then the buyer would occasionally step in and start buying dips, right? So every time it would drop, they would start buying dips, right? And so if you shorted here and with a tight stop, you would get stopped out. So the way I traded this one was I would cover into the wash, and then I would wait until a couple of exhaustion candles to get short, right? Then once the panic sell-off is over, starts to go up, cover into the wash, exhaustion candle, short, cover into the wash, rinse and repeat. Exhaustion, short, cover into the wash, exhaustion, and again all day. That was the theme of the day, right? So exhaustion and then big down. So my biggest trade was actually right here after this big down. This exhaustion right here, I got in some size. It was pretty easy to sell up until this last candle. Very easy to sell. Selling at the mids, anything you want. So I was flat. I was shorting at the mids, testing the mids. Shorting, easy to sell, cover. Shorting, covering, shorting, cover, until there was nothing to sell at the mids. Once there's nothing to sell at the mids, start shorting as much as possible, just looking for liquidity and getting, so I think these last two candles I was just absorbing size, and then covered most of it in here and covered the rest, covered some more here, reshorted, and then covered the rest, I believe right here. I just got tired of these like big wicks, so the original position, I wanted to hold it as long as possible, but I just got shaken out of these like big wicks. So seeing P&L up and down like this, even though it's going in my favor, got to work on these setups where it's going in my favor, even though it's showing me lots of reversals. I got to remember that. I mean, look at the trend here, just massive sell-off, and obviously it went down much more. I got in, I believe right here I shorted a little bit, and then I re-added some, and covered it all in here, and actually got long into this rip at the end. But I mean, super thick quote, traded 35, almost 36 million shares. Looking at the daily chart, looks like a disaster, right? So there's a lot of panic. There's a lot of just, people scared and selling off, and there's other people buying the dips right here. Somebody buying the dips, but the general trend was really nice to the downside. MGM was another one. We traded this one actively yesterday. So yesterday was really good. Had one of my biggest trades, or one of my bigger trades rather, right here. After these exhaustion candles, getting short, adding, and then covering everything into the panic washout. And then today was pretty much the same thing. Just find these tight spots where you can risk just a little bit for a big drop, right? So you short. The risk management here is tricky because it could wick out and stop you out. So I would have a couple of stops, one very close, another one pretty far. And then short goes in your favor, you add, and then after a big washout, you just start paying yourself along the way. Same thing right here. Get short, big washout. And then, I mean, look at this. This is beautiful. Wicks out, exhaustion candle, down sideways, big drop. Took a small loss right here. Got back in, big drop. Rinse and repeat. So this is how it traded. It was pretty clean. I mean, this 35 level, that was a big battle. So here I got a little, this got a little bit tricky. I started buying 35s right here and selling into the wicks, buying, selling, and then here I took a loss. But overall, I think, yeah, this one is my second best name. LKQ, another one. Same concept. SSR. I mean, you look at these consolidations, which way it's going to break. You try to figure out if there's a buyer. If there's no buyer, what's the pressure like? Is there sellers? Easy to buy, and then it breaks out usually in the direction where it's harder to get a position, right? So if it's hard to sell, then it's going down. If it's hard to buy, then it's going up. Again, tight setups, up, tight setup, down, right? So you just short in the direction and it's going. That's my other best one. X here, we shorted, I believe, right here. Big range, some support right here, and I believe 15s were a point of interest. 15, 16. It would bounce back over 15, back under, back over 15. So I was short here, risking 60s, and that was a big trade. And I covered, I believe, in here I covered the rest. And then I think they got upgraded midday, and that went up. So that's another really good one. Sprint. This one was a scalper, so we were just, according to the book pressure, buy, short, cover into the wash. One of my bigger trades was right here. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but on decent size. I was shorting 50s and sitting on 51s on the offers. So I was shorting on the offers 50s, 51s, and then I was waiting for a big dump. The dump wasn't that big, but I mean, there was a buyer, and I thought that if the buyer would go away, the stock would drop. So the buyer stopped, the stock dropped. The buyer came back in, he was buying offers in the specific dark pool. The buyer stepped back in, started getting long, sell into the 50s, and they pushed it up higher. Looks like downtrending aftermarket. So yeah, that was my third or fourth best one. HRG, another one. So if you make a list of SSR names, highest volume ones, a lot of them were really good. So HRG was one of them also. Just getting in these tight setups, and the follow through was there. And on the long side, we were buying right here, selling into the push. So FII, another one. So you get the point. So today was really good. Um, Probably my best day of the month. I have to run the numbers and see how much I'm paying in fees, but best day of the month. So really nice way to end the month. Pretty happy with it. The desk did well. So these are my takeaways. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, you can tweet at me at Dracana Trader. Have a nice weekend. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.